Happy Thursday to you all, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Sorry for coming late. Today I'm a late comer, but not minding the situations, we will proceed. According to the information reaching me here now, IBRAHIM TRAORè and the Mazi stroke Prime Minister CAPqəd have struck a very, very lucrative and interesting deal that could impact the direction of the Biafra movement. I don't care what you think about this message, but the clip you're about to watch now says it all. Some people might call it propaganda, some may say it is AI, some even call it lies, some even call it fake news. But I can tell you this for free of charge: there is a very, very underground alliance between these two gentlemen, or rather between these two strong men from the African soil. Watch this clip, then we'll come back for more discussion. I, Okulora, is here to serve you. Like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe for more interesting videos.
The President of Burkina Faso, IBRAHIM TRAORè, has reportedly struck a secretive deal with ÇOU̥D, who is currently detained in Finland's Kylmäkoski Correctional Center, in a move that could impact the direction of the Biafra movement. Nigeria's federal government plans to repatriate ÇOU̥D, not extradite him, using a legal loophole that doesn't require criminal charges or handcuffs, since Finland and Nigeria lack an extradition treaty. The Nigerian government aims to strip ÇOU̥D of Finnish citizenship by declaring his passport lost or stolen, which could trigger forced repatriation to Nigeria without formal legal proceedings. However, the Burkina government is attempting to counter this plan by helping ÇOU̥D avoid repatriation, particularly by leveraging legal protections tied to family status and nationality laws. A major obstacle is that ÇOU̥D's wife has divorced him, seeking custody of their children, which weakens his claim to Finnish familial ties and leaves him vulnerable to repatriation. To resist repatriation, ÇOU̥D is being advised to marry a non-Nigerian, non-Finnish woman, which would complicate legal grounds for his return to Nigeria and potentially allow him to be repatriated elsewhere instead. Finnish law allows prisoners to marry, and ÇOU̥D can initiate this process from prison, provided he meets legal and administrative requirements. Finland cannot repatriate someone to a country where they lack family or viable livelihood, and ÇOU̥D is reportedly claiming he has no family left in Nigeria to avoid deportation there. The marriage strategy is part of a broader rescue plan backed by President IBRAHIM TRAORè, who is allegedly motivated by regional solidarity or geopolitical interests. ÇOU̥D must act quickly to marry a foreign national, as the Nigerian government may soon attempt to forcibly return him. Failure to do so could result in his apprehension upon arrival in Lagos. Over the past few weeks, a significant development has emerged that could reshape the direction of one of Africa's most controversial political movements, the Biafra independence movement. At the center of this unfolding story are two key figures: President IBRAHIM TRAORè of Burkina Faso and ÇOU̥D, a prominent and polarizing advocate for Biafran secession, currently detained in Finland. Their secretive alliance has ignited speculation, raised serious political questions, and may ultimately determine whether ÇOU̥D is repatriated to Nigeria or remains abroad as a symbolic leader of the Biafra cause. To understand the gravity of this situation, we must first grasp who these individuals are and what led to this unexpected collaboration. President IBRAHIM TRAORè is the young and bold military leader of Burkina Faso, who took power through a coup and has since positioned himself as a vocal critic of Western influence in Africa and a proponent of Pan-African solidarity. ÇOU̥D, on the other hand, is a Finnish-based Nigerian national who rose to prominence after the arrest of Nnamdi Kanu, the founder of the indigenous people of Biafra. ÇOU̥D took up the mantle of advocating for Biafran independence from abroad and has since attracted both fierce support and bitter opposition. ÇOU̥D is currently incarcerated at Kylmäkoski Correctional Center in Finland, where he is being held under circumstances that have drawn international attention. What makes this particular moment so explosive is that the Nigerian government has reportedly found a way to bypass the traditional legal hurdles of extraditing ÇOU̥D, opting instead to pursue repatriation. The difference between these two legal terms is more than just semantics. Extradition is a formal judicial process, often requiring treaties and mutual agreements between countries. Repatriation, on the other hand, can be enacted unilaterally by declaring a person's passport lost or invalid and sending them back to their country of origin without formal charges or court proceedings. Nigeria and Finland do not have an extradition treaty, which makes it almost impossible for the Nigerian government to legally extract ÇOU̥D through normal diplomatic channels. This has prompted Nigerian authorities to explore a repatriation strategy. The current plan, as reported by various media outlets, involves declaring ÇOU̥D's Finnish passport lost or stolen. This maneuver would theoretically strip ÇOU̥D of his Finnish citizenship or at least revoke the legal protections associated with it. If successful, it would allow Finnish authorities to simply put ÇOU̥D on a plane to Nigeria without shackles, police escorts, or criminal accusations. This strategy, though legally clever, is ethically murky and politically sensitive. Sending someone back to a country where they may face persecution or even violence for their political beliefs has triggered condemnation from human rights activists and legal experts alike. Yet the Nigerian government seems determined to carry out this plan, believing that ÇOU̥D's presence in Nigeria would allow them to silence a growing insurgency in the southeastern region, which some blame on ÇOU̥D's rhetoric and activities. However, President Ibrahim Traorè has entered the scene with a bold countermeasure. Sources indicate that the president of Burkina Faso has struck a secretive deal with ÇOU̥D aimed at preventing this forced repatriation and possibly reshaping the broader strategy of the Biafra movement. This deal, reportedly sealed during confidential communications and possibly through diplomatic back channels, is rooted in two primary objectives. The first is to prevent ÇOU̥D's return to Nigeria at all costs. The second is to ensure that ÇOU̥D can continue to influence the Biafra movement, either from Finland or from another safe location, under new legal and political protections. To appreciate the depth of this situation, we must delve into the personal and legal complications that ÇOU̥D currently faces. One of the strongest legal protections against repatriation under Finnish law is the presence of close family ties in the host country. Until recently, ÇOU̥D could have leaned on his marriage and his children in Finland as a protective shield. But that layer of defense has crumbled. Following his arrest and mounting political pressure, ÇOU̥D's wife has reportedly filed for divorce and is seeking full custody of their children. This development dramatically weakens ÇOU̥D's claim to family-based legal residency in Finland, making it easier for the authorities to push for his removal. With the family angle deteriorating, President Ibrahim Traorè and his advisors have proposed an unusual yet strategic solution. ÇOU̥D must marry a non-Nigerian and non-Finnish woman. The idea here is not rooted in romance or emotion, but in legal strategy. If ÇOU̥D were to marry a woman from a third country, he could apply for residency, or even citizenship in that country, effectively creating a new legal identity and basis for international protection. Under international law and Finnish protocols, a person cannot be repatriated to a country where they do not have family or livelihood. If ÇOU̥DD claims he has no remaining ties to Nigeria and builds new ones elsewhere, Finland may be forced to reconsider or redirect any repatriation efforts. This might sound far-fetched, but it is entirely within the bounds of Finnish legal norms. Inmates in Finnish correctional facilities, including Kylmäkoski, retain the right to marry, provided they meet certain administrative and procedural requirements. ÇOU̥DD would need to file a formal application, submit the required paperwork, and possibly undergo interviews or other verification processes. But once married, his legal status would become more complex, potentially blocking his repatriation to Nigeria and instead opening the door for asylum or residency in his spouse's country of origin. The urgency behind this marriage strategy cannot be overstated. Time is running out. The Nigerian government is reportedly moving quickly to revoke ÇOU̥DD's passport and is pressing Finland to initiate the repatriation process. If ÇOU̥DD fails to secure a marriage in time, he risks being forcibly put on a flight to Lagos, where intelligence agencies and security operatives will likely be waiting. Sources close to the matter suggest that the Nigerian Department of State Services has already made arrangements for his arrival and immediate custody. So why is President Ibrahim Traorè of Burkina Faso so deeply invested in this? The answer lies in a combination of ideology, regional politics, and personal conviction. Ibrahim Traorè has emerged as one of Africa's most radical and assertive leaders. He has rejected Western dominance, expelled French military forces from his country, and positioned Burkina Faso as a vanguard in a new wave of African nationalism. Supporting ÇOU̥DD could be a way for President Ibrahim Traorè to extend his ideological reach, form alliances with like-minded revolutionaries, and project influence beyond Burkina Faso's borders. There is also a geopolitical logic to it. Nigeria, with its vast oil reserves and political clout, has traditionally acted as a regional hegemon in West Africa. Challenging Nigeria's authority by supporting a Biafran separatist could serve as a symbolic blow against what President Ibrahim Traorè might see as neo-colonial regimes allied with Western powers. In this context, ÇOU̥DD becomes more than just a political prisoner. He becomes a pawn, a symbol, and possibly a future ally in a broader struggle for African self-determination. Let us not forget the symbolic resonance of the Biafra movement itself. The dream of an independent Biafra is older than many of its current supporters. It dates back to the Nigerian Civil War of the late 1960s, when eastern Nigeria, largely populated by the Igbo ethnic group, attempted to secede and form the Republic of Biafra. The war ended in defeat for the secessionists, but the desire for autonomy and self-governance never truly disappeared. Figures like Nnamdi Kanu reignited that dream, and when he was arrested and imprisoned, ÇOU̥DD stepped into the void. His influence has grown through social media, coordinated civil disobedience campaigns, and international advocacy. This is precisely why the Nigerian government sees ÇOU̥DD as a threat. His ability to mobilize people from abroad has turned him into a figure of resistance, but this also explains why foreign powers like Burkina Faso might see value in aligning with him. If President Ibrahim Traorè can help ÇOU̥DD evade repatriation, he may gain an ideological ally and potentially stir discontent within Nigeria, thereby shifting regional power dynamics. Back in Finland, Legal experts are grappling with the implications of this evolving situation. Should the Finnish government comply with Nigeria's repatriation request, even in the absence of criminal charges or an extradition treaty? Should a man be sent back to a country where he claims he has no family, no livelihood, and no safety guarantees? These are the moral and legal questions being debated behind closed doors in Helsinki. Meanwhile, ÇOUṯD and his supporters are moving swiftly. Reports suggest that potential spouses from several countries are being vetted, and efforts are underway to complete the necessary paperwork from within the prison system. It is a race against time, one in which the stakes are nothing less than personal freedom, political survival, and the future of a separatist movement that refuses to fade. President Ibrahim Traoré's involvement also extends beyond legal strategy. Sources familiar with the situation claim that Burkina Faso may offer temporary asylum or even citizenship to ÇOUṯD if other plans fail. This would require coordination with Finnish authorities and possibly with international human rights organizations. While the logistical challenges are immense, the political will appears to be in place. In this high-stakes geopolitical chess game, each move carries profound consequences. If ÇOUṯD is repatriated, Nigeria may claim a major victory in its campaign to quash the Biafra movement. If he successfully marries and secures foreign residency, he may become a martyr-like figure who continues to galvanize resistance from afar. And if President Ibrahim Traoré succeeds in protecting and perhaps relocating ÇOUṯD, he may emerge as a new force in African politics, one willing to defy norms, challenge bigger powers, and shape the continent's future in unexpected ways. What happens next will depend not just on legal filings and political maneuvers, but on a complex interplay of personal decisions, diplomatic gambits, and the unpredictable currents of African history. One thing is certain: the secret deal between President Ibrahim Traoré and ÇOUԹD is more than just a headline. It is a pivotal moment that could alter the course of a movement, a government, and perhaps even a continent. As the secret agreement between Ibrahim Traoré and ÇOUԹD continues to stir waves beneath the surface of international diplomacy, one begins to understand just how intricate and calculated this arrangement really is. It is not just about protecting a controversial figure like ÇOUԹD from being sent back to Nigeria. It is about using legal, political, and humanitarian loopholes to rewrite a chapter in the Biafran struggle, one that could potentially tilt the scales of power in a direction few would have anticipated. At the heart of the unfolding drama lies the determination of the Nigerian government to repatriate ÇOUԹD without the use of extradition. The difference between extradition and repatriation might seem minor at first glance, but for the key players involved, it is a monumental legal distinction. Extradition is formal. It is based on legal agreements between two countries. It involves courts, prosecutors, and international treaties. It requires evidence of a crime and often allows for defense. Repatriation, on the other hand, can be swift and silent. It can take place under the guise of administrative procedure. It does not necessarily need a courtroom or a judge. It just needs a justification, like a missing passport or a citizenship status change, and the cooperation of a foreign government. The Nigerian government's strategy in this case is both simple and bold. Knowing that there is no extradition treaty between Nigeria and Finland, officials are attempting to have ÇOUԹD's Finnish passport declared lost or stolen. If successful, this could lead to a forced repatriation, a scenario where ÇOUṯD would be put on a plane and flown back to Lagos without the need for extradition hearings or criminal proceedings in Finland. The plan is to avoid the kind of diplomatic attention that an official extradition request might trigger. It is about making ÇOU̥D disappear quietly from Finland's legal framework and reappear suddenly on Nigerian soil. But Ibrahim Traoré, the leader of Burkina Faso, has decided to insert himself into the situation in a way that has caught many off guard. His intervention is not just political, it is deeply strategic. Sources suggest that his involvement stems from more than just Pan-African solidarity. It appears that the young Burkinabe leader sees in ÇOU̥D and the Biafra movement an opportunity to shift the dynamics of power across West Africa. To understand this, we must look beyond the immediate legal maneuvers and examine the broader political context. Ibrahim Traoré has been rising rapidly in regional influence, positioning himself as a leader of a new anti-imperialist bloc in West Africa. Under his leadership, Burkina Faso has cut ties with France, aligned with Russia, and formed a security alliance with Mali and Niger. By standing with ÇOU̥D, Ibrahim Traoré may be sending a message to other independence-minded movements across the continent, that they have allies and protectors, that they are not alone. This is why the plan he and ÇOU̥D have devised is so significant. Icon on the top right corner of your screen to watch my next video. You will enjoy it.
Moving forward, the clip we just finished watch now have said it all. You know, I don't want it to look like I am trying to program a kind of fake news, or rather a kind of people who are making a content creator. My brother, in every rumor there is an atom of truth in it. You might not agree with the clip you just finished watch, but I am telling you from a reliable source. In fact, it is not even a hidden agenda. It is not a secret. It is wide open. It is wide open that the US government, the USB government, is working to join the AES that comprises of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Chad will soon join them. And also, Ambazonia, ÇOU̥D, his deputy, are also working in alliance with these AES countries. Don't worry, I am giving you this with full assurance, hitting my chest. There is alliance going on. Just like I said in the couple of videos I published some couple of days, weeks, or months ago, I said the government of USB is working, but nobody will see the physical effect now. But with time, you are going to understand everything line by line. Take me by my word. I am not an old fool. I am not a bastard who don't know my father or who don't know my left from my right. What I'm telling you is authentic news, which, as we move on, you are going to confirm it. Please, if you don't have data, if possible, be borrowing data to be watching any content you saw me posting from this time onwards, because a lot of things is happening. And I am telling you this with a full assurance that whatever you hear from me, that is the way it is. I don't want to copy a propagandist video. No. Before I copy any video, I have already made a kind of underground research and found out that maybe you might call it a propaganda, but let me tell you, the propaganda in that news is just only 10% or 15%. The rest is real. Don't forget what I said some couple of days ago or weeks ago. Propaganda is part of the game. Go to internet now and see what is trending. Yoruba bastard media have started again. They have started again. The Igbos is against very dark man. But look at what is happening now. All the Yoruba medias now are being propagating it. Courtesy of Asorok, Tunumbu, telling them, look at what they're going to do to destroy the reputation of the Biafrans, that it was the Biafrans, the Igbos, the IPOBs are the one who are championing the so-called protest for the release of a very dark man. Can you imagine that? Then it's left for us now to defend. But when we bring out our own propaganda, waiting for them to defend, the only people that will attack you will be your own people, whom you are also fighting for. You see the problem? Go to all the home media houses. X is on fire. Facebook is on fire. Twitter is on fire. TikTok is on fire. About propaganda against me and you, the Biafrans. When you go there, all the Yorubas that will comment there, we comment in favor of their own people. Be an Igbo man, post this kind of propaganda. The first person that will comment there will be Okeke Mbachi. He will call you all manner of names and tell you this is how you spoil our names worldwide. Igbos, make una wake up. If una refuse to learn now, una go learn the hard way. Because if you have a Yoruba man as a friend, my brother, you don't have a friend. In fact, if we cannot learn from the past mistakes of our ancestors over the hands of these people, then we are going to remain stagnant for the rest of the generation of the Biafrans. That is the simple truth. There's no two ways about that. If na Igbo man there for this post where Turumbu there now, and the country is like this, Hausa man might be silent, Fulanis might be silent, waiting for their own turn so that they will revenge. But Igbo man, they will be the one to even spoil the government. Who tell us that good Lord Jonathan is a bad luck to Nigeria? No, be an Igbo man. An Igbo man, even Reverend Father for that matter. Even Reverend Father for that matter. Now, Peter Obi made a comment yesterday. Where are all the people who protested against good Lord Jonathan when a bag of rice was 7,500? Are all dead? That is what Peter Obi asked. Wait for APC's response or Yoruba Stars' response. Ronus, wait for the response over Peter Obi. They are going to grade him. Even Igbos will join him, Yorubas, to grade Peter Obi. We never learn anything. We keep on murmuring ourselves, thinking that we are wise, we are outspoken. But at the end, my brother, when two elephants fight, the grass suffers it. And Hausa man come out and make a very, very important statement. What did he say? He said that them and the Igbos are not dragging anything. As a matter of fact, if they leave Hausas and Fulanis and the Igbos are the same country, that they are going to live peacefully, harmoniously, coexist one another. But how that Igbos and Yorubas can never live in peace. Because if Yorubas are the ones who don't want to see any Igbo man, they say, this Igbo man now the highest billionaire. Even if Igbos are not even billionaires. But you see that Igbo man is doing well. A Yoruba man that is a carpenter will be envying him, not minding the kind of hard work that man have put in his business or work to bring it to the level where he finds himself that day. I mean, today. But a Yoruba man who is an Agboro go to envy him. Igbo man will see a Yoruba who is a billionaire. The only thing that Igbo man will think, or what you find out or research, how am I going to be like this man? Not doing any competition, but how am I going to be like this man? Not envy, not jealousy, but let me work hard so that I will be like this man. It is not Yorubas. Yorubas will never want to use their ear, hear that an Igbo man is ready. Hausa, Fulani, they will make statement from January to December over Tinubu's regime. Yoruba dare not reply to them. They let an Igbo man just pass. They mistakenly just waka pass. My brother, all of them is going to finish that Igbo man. Is he not in that same country? We stay. Peter Obi talk. The so-called idiot by Ononoga. Bash him. Then Peter Obi decide to keep silent. They see bash him. Why must he keep silent? Can you imagine that? Hausa man, Fulani man, Efik, they never ever attack Peter Obi. It is Yorubas. That one is a message that we are going to treat when we come back later. But that clip we just finished watch. Let us go to the comment section. A lot of comments follows it. Over 1,000 plus comments. But I'm going to just read few reactions from the Biafrans. And then we round up the show. According to Ndubisi said, long live Ibrahim TRAORè and his government and supporters. Long live alliance with ÇOUṭD, the USB Prime Minister. Mariana said, God bless Ibrahim TRAORè and protect him forever. According to Kanayo said, Ekpa's wife will bear her cross, but she will live to regret this wickedness. God is alive. There is no difference between Tinubu and Finland, the leader. They are all birds of the same feathers. Mokwe said, my African son, please try whatever you can do to see that you help Simon Ekpa, our Prime Minister, so that Prime Minister, so that he will not be returned to Nigeria where there is no rule of law. Love you so much, my son. It is well with you, and we continue to be well with you in the mighty name of Jesus Christ. Amen. Rose said that our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, has already denounced his Nigerian passport for years ago. Imoni said, yay, all ever unmasked Lucky Dube to Nnamdi Kanu case. He puts on a brave face every morning and every night. He goes on stage with a big smile on his face. You split your side with laughter. You are sitting at the day of your seat. Now, which kind of English be this? Look at waiting person right. Fool. Virginia said this is a high technical legality demonstrated by the brave military captain Ibrahim TRAORè, leader of Burkina Faso. We need this kind of man, of course, with Putin's wisdom behind him. So anyway, my wonderful people, I beg you, we will take back break when I go here with us again. When we come back, let me not just stretch it, because as time is money and it's teaching time, we don't not only serve 9 but serve 10 these days. I'm coming back with another Ubonga news over this Bastards and Runus propaganda against the Igbos. If we refuse to learn, we are really going to learn the hard way. The earlier, the better. Help me circulate this video. If you like what I'm doing, if you enjoy this video, make sure that this video circulates to all the whole social media platforms. I love you all.